You're watching America Trends, and I'm Mary Burt-Godwin, and I'm talking with Nicole Laino. She's the founder of Hilo CRM and Limitless Entrepreneur Coaching. We're talking about the human design chart. Nicole, I'm learning a lot from you about this, and I'm very curious as to what my chart tells me I am. But tell me, I want to talk about your Limitless Entrepreneur podcast and this concept too, that, you know, the coaching that you do for people, because I like the concept of being limitless. A lot of times we have self-limiting ideas and we fall into traps, you know, perfectionism and all the things that we were talking about earlier. So talk to me about your podcast and the ways in which you coach people.
So my podcast is really built around like demystifying the mystical. I really like to bring these somewhat esoteric, kind of maybe to some people a little out there topics like human design, and bring them into a really practical, usable form. So that's what the episodes are really built around, are how can I make this information really accessible for you? How can I make this information seem like something you can use, and you can see how this is going to ground you in, like, when you're grounded in who you are, everything else does start to become easier. When you stop pouring energy into being who you are not and who you think you should be, you're actually free to be all that you are. So that's kind of the mission of the show, is to help people align with who they are according to their design, let go of everything else that doesn't fit with that, that's not serving them, and do it in a way that's really practical and actionable for them.
Okay, I'm going to give you a really, lame example here of something about me, and I talk about this on the show a lot. And this is something I want to change this about myself, because I'm not a morning person. The morning, I want to wake up at 6 and be that early bird and do all the things and work out before work, and it just doesn't happen. I push snooze for an hour every day, all the time, and I think I'm going to go to hypnotherapy about this. How do I change this behavior? And then sometimes I think, how about you just accept that you're not a morning person and get over it? Because I have a girlfriend that she doesn't care. She just brags about not being a morning person. So I think, do I just need to let this go? Or, where are things? I guess this is the question, is how do you know if it's something that you should change to better yourself, or do you just get rid of the should and accept who you are? Does that make sense?
Well, I think it's also where the motivation comes from. Is it because you desire to create more space in your life? Is it because other people are doing it? Those would be two very different motivations. But from a human design perspective, there are certain energy types that are not meant to have as much energy to go and go and go and go and go like other types. 70% of the world is what we call a generator, and those people are meant to generate energy when they're working on the things that feel right to them. And they are the norm. But then there's the other 30% that's not meant to operate that way. But when 70% of the world operates a certain way, you start to think that you should too, even if you fall into that 30%. So when we run charts, sometimes we find out people fall into what we call their projectors, manifestors, or reflectors. Those are the other three types. That's that other 30%. And then maybe you just need more sleep than everybody else, because you are working and because you are kind of pushing your energy to the boundaries that it has.
Well, just say that. I'm just not lazy. I just really need sleep. I'm a non-generator. No, I don't know what the type is, but I would like to take it for, have that kind of give me some information. But talk to me about how entrepreneurs can utilize this information to help themselves, improve their business.
So there's a lot that can be done with this. Like I said, it's super detailed. It gives us really it can give you I'm very hesitant to use the word purpose, because it can be misused and it's a little bit loaded, but it can give you a life theme. It can tell you what the theme of your life, your trajectory is. And that can give you a sense of, a lot of people, when they approach their branding, and I'm not necessarily talking about what your brand looks like, but what your mission of your company is. So I just mentioned that mine is to help people see possibility in themselves, to be limitless, and to bring those down to a practical, usable level for people, to take systems like this and bring it into a practical, usable level. That's my mission, and that's very in alignment with the theme of my chart, with the life theme of my life. So that's something that can be used where we're diving into how the business is more the person, that personal aspect of it, rather than it just being, what do I do, to really adding that depth. There's also other ways of showing how your energy is used and experienced by others. What are ways that people are really going to be attracted to you? What are ways that people are really going to, how is your message going to resonate? There are things in your chart that will tell us what methods you can use, or kind of the vibe of how you deliver information. I'm very practical. That is part of my design.
I love that. And does it help you? It also would probably help you decide maybe who you need to hire and or what type of person you would want to be working with you, or who you might pair well with in business, because you would want something that brings something to the table that you don't already have, right?
Absolutely. And that's where, so I mentioned before how there's areas where you're going to be inconsistent, where you're not going to be meant to be that thing all the time. That's where you're going to look for those specific energies, and there are certain ones that are very related to business as well. You're going to look for those aspects in your team. Now, you don't have to run a chart for every person who interviews with you, although I do. You don't have to go that far, but you can be looking for those themes. You can be seeing if those people are a real example of those particular energies that you're really feeling are gaps in what your company is able to be and show up as.
Now, tell me, you have a free masterclass that you're offering next month, right? So it says how to 2 times your revenue while working less, which I think everyone would like to know this. So where can people access your masterclass? And it's free. Did I mention that? It's free.
It is free. It is free. Thank you for bringing it up. I actually, if you go to my website, NicoleLaino.me/masterclass, you can register for free. And I'm going to walk you through how I use human design to help you use your energy efficiently. And I mean that in both ways, that you can be more productive, but without necessarily working more. And then how you can be using your energy to attract the right people, how you maybe can make some subtle tweaks to your business that can really result in really big results.
Okay, I love that. And it's all virtual, right?
Yes, it's online. So, and there are replays available. If you register, you'll get the access to the replay.
Okay, awesome. And then I also saw that you have a Facebook group. I know that there was a time and place when Facebook groups really boomed, and people were very active in them. I don't know if that's still the case, or who are the participants in your Facebook group?
In my Facebook group now, we're transitioning over to a new one, because we're going to make this much more focused on people who are interested in human design and the work that I'm doing right now. So it's called Human Design for Entrepreneurs. And that's really going to be discussions about your business, human design, being productive, how to decondition from the way that the world told you to be, and get you more in alignment with your design and who you were meant to be.
I love that. I want to know that it's okay that I'm not a morning person. Will you tell me that, Nicole? Thank you so much for being here today. NicoleLaino.me is your website, and at Nicole Laino Official on Instagram. Take this human design test. I'm going to take it after the show today. And thank you so much for being here, Nicole, and everyone at home. Stick around for more America Trends after this break. In the meantime, find us on social media at America Trends TV on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we'll be right back after this break.